And we're back. All right, so a lot of things have happened this week. A few things have died. A few people have died. I don't know. Ebert died. And I'm not going to really get into that too much, but if you guys want to talk about that in the comments,
Go read his article on rice cookers.
Yes. Something else died that is more relevant to what we speak about, and I don't want to, I want to give proper respect to Ebert, so moment of silence. Okay? And I think the memory and the celebration of a life is better than a moment of silence, but you can reflect on your own. And then celebrate, all the different reviews and books that he wrote.
The rice cooker article was damn good. He also gave gamers a voice for talking about the medium as an art.
LucasArts also died. So, Disney acquired Lucasfilm and all the LucasArts and everything that went with it, and they've killed LucasArts. And people were first, freaking out because they were like, oh, what about all the amazing games that LucasArts,
made once upon a time, and no point in the...
That's exactly what I've been saying to everyone. You mean the games they made, back when they had all these people who no longer work there? Who are now making games on Kickstarter and stuff, and you guys are going to be able to enjoy all their games? So what Disney does is they take entities, or they take their IPs, and then they shove them down another company's throat. They grab Square Enix and say, hey, make this game. Or they grab Warren Spector, the guy that made Deus Ex, and they're like, hey, Warren Spector, here's Mickey Mouse, and just shove it down his throat. And he makes Epic Mickey, and it gets pretty
Remember
good.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
I'm going to get so murdered.
So what's going to happen right now? We may see another Monkey Island game. We may see Full Throttle 2. That would be funny. Star Wars games? Yes, we'll see them. Star Wars 1313 or whatever they were working on, who knows what's going to happen with that? I guess they'll probably evaluate it and then try to shove it down another company's throat and say, hey, finish this. So that's what I'm expecting Disney to do, is take all their IPs and shove them down video game companies' throats and give them lots of money and say, hey, make a product out of this. Because that doesn't mean all those IPs are going to die. That means they're going to use them in a different way. They just don't see LucasArts being the way. They want to outsource all of it.
We're going to see Purple Tentacle in the new Star Wars movie.
Did anybody get that joke?
No.
Yes. He's going to be the new Sith Lord?
Yes.
He drunk Sith sludge. So there's also a really interesting article over on edgeonline.com. And it's just talking about the first days at LucasArts, and it's a few members of the original LucasArts team talking about how everything started going south. They blame a little bit of it on Star Wars, and they were like, it was always Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. We had all these amazing IPs, and it was just Star Wars, Star Wars. So take a look at that. Why did you send me a Fox News link? What are we becoming? Well, we are in the South, after all. Digital Bitcoin currency thing. That's what they're like, digital Bitcoin. And Bitcoins are at the all-time high. It's ridiculous right now. Do you have Bitcoins?
Yes.
Good. I've got silver, and I'm hiding it under my mattress like an idiot. And now I'm like, man, I wish I had Bitcoins, but when everything collapses, my silver will be nice.
I wish I'd been that guy there was way back a long time ago, there was a guy who got a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins when it was first starting up, when they were worth about 10 cents each.
Yeah.
So it was, it was like $35, $40 a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins.
Oh, he probably got excited and sold them at $7, and now he's dead.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the head.
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't know, but we'll be doing a lot more with Bitcoins. We'll be taking donations on the website very soon. You'll be able to donate with Bitcoins, and we'll also have a monthly thing where you can give 1 Bitcoin a month, or, I don't know. We'll figure something out like that. We got a lot of work to do on the website. I realize things have gone wonky recently. I think Chrome released an update, and now the header's all wonky. We didn't do anything to the website. We just logged on and was like, it's wonky now. So I've been traveling. Windows been busy as hell, so we'll get that fixed as soon as possible. And then we've got some trolling issues on the website. Someone on the same IP address is jumping in there, and they sound legitimate, and they're talking to themselves, but it's with 2 different accounts.
Yeah,
but they're both coming from the same IP address. We don't know what the hell you're doing.
You're tipping them off, making our job harder.
Oh, I should cut this?
Well, I mean, it's fine, probably.
Yeah, we'll murder them.
Not sure if trolling or roommate having an argument with roommate.
You guys could turn around and yell about it in your chair.
I suppose it's possible that the IP address is from a university and somebody's arguing with somebody in the next dorm over. I mean, that's a possibility, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to look into this, but hey, I'll ban people. I don't care.
The forum is a place for you to put your head under the putrescent waters of knowledge.
Collusion. They've updated Collusion for Mozilla Firefox, and what this does is it just shows everyone that's tracking you, and it's pretty cool. You guys can download it and take a look, and I'm going to leave this here and just move on.
You can see the companies that are tracking you online, like the ad companies.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Google Fiber may be going to Austin. I don't think I sent you this article, but Google Fiber might be going to Austin. There's a big announcement with Google in Austin coming next week, and I don't know what else it could be other than Google Fiber moving to Austin.
Well, Time Warner just, there's two things going on in the broadband world. Time Warner just got North Carolina to put a bunch of stuff into law that, like, will make broadband competition harder there. And it almost seems like a preemptive strike against Google Fiber, but that's a developing story, and we'll probably have more about that next week.
I know some pretty relaxed and groovy people in North Carolina, but what the hell is going on with the politicians in that state? They've also just released some law, the Religious Freedom Act or whatever, that's going to make it very difficult to prosecute anybody because they can just claim my religion.
The cable companies are also really upset right now because the FCC has decided that it's going to redefine broadband in the near future to be at least 6 megabit. And so the cable companies are losing their crap.
Isn't that from 5 to 6?
Yeah. Well, I think the FCC defines it right. Broadband is 3 megabit right now,
right.
And I think the FCC is moving that to 6 megabit. And a lot of cable companies only are like 4 or 5 megabit, and so they're losing their crap because DSL companies are going to upgrade, and then they're going to have to upgrade their infrastructure. They're like, no, we don't want to do that.
I was just playing around in New England, and the speeds up there are great. So this country needs to take a look at that part of the world. I'm not sure about all of the nooks and crannies, but the places that I was hanging out.
If we want to solve the problem for 100 years, we need to run fiber optic cable to every structure in America. I don't care if it's an outhouse; it needs fiber. That will solve the problem for 100 years.
Tesla, they're going to be posting, I guess, a profit. So that's insane.
Republican presidential candidate was making fun of Tesla during the presidential election as being a losing company and oil's here to stay. And it's
of course not, because he drinks a gallon of oil every night. He doesn't have cognac like you see in the movies. They sit there and drink oil like.
So Tesla's posting a profit. This could be good.
And we've been talking about politics a little bit, and I just wanted to remind everybody that I am not politically affiliated in case someone's like, see, he clearly hates Republicans. Oh, see, no, he clearly hates Democrats. I'll hate on them later in the show, so keep watching.
Yeah, we just hate stupidity. There's plenty of that to go around.
Yep. In all its many forms, disguised as politics.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Here's some stupidity that you're going to enjoy. So T-Mobile, their CEO, John, how do you say it? John Librarian, he came out, and he's very vocal, and he's very funny, but he's come out and he said, no more contracts. He called them BS. Some colorful language. Did you see the announcement?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's pretty cool. This guy's relaxed and groovy, down to earth, whatever. He's been watching our videos. Look at him. T-shirt and gray jacket.
Yeah, it's more awesome than that, because not only do they have no contracts, but they will still let you subsidize your device. So if you want to get a $600 device and it's going to increase your plan $25 a month, it's a separate line item on the bill. So if you end your if you terminate early, you still have to pay off your phone, but your service and your phone are different things.
Now we'll just have to figure out the whole unlimited, that word. As soon as we can figure out the word, the definition of the word unlimited, then the mobile world will be a very different place. So
I think T-Mobile still also has unlimited, don't they?
They do have
no,
unlimited,
that's Sprint.
unlimited?
That's Sprint that has
Sprint,
unlimited.
Yeah, I've got Sprint, and that's unlimited. I think Verizon is unlimited.
No,
not 3 unlimited. There's 2, just 1, 2. How many unlimited?
No, Verizon only has the 1 unlimited, and then they unless you're grandfathered in, and then you have the unlimited. Yeah. But otherwise, you have the limited unlimited.
Limited unlimited.
Yep.
Yes. Speaking of Verizon, here's what he had to say about T-Mobile. So the CEO of Verizon comes out and he said, you know what, we'll be happy to drop cell phone contracts if, our members want it, if our users want it.
He went on to say, well, we have a hotline set up. All you have to do is call an unlisted Estonian number that only has one operator that works 5 minutes a day. And, we've had that line open for 2 years and we've only had 3 calls.
Effectively, that's what he said. Everyone, call Verizon, email Verizon. If someone started a petition on petitionstuff.org or whatever, it's always a .org, but somebody get a petition going, because Verizon's going to be the next one.
Yeah, we should all call customer service and be like, hey, the guy said if we asked for it, we could have it. I'm asking for it. Can you notate that in your system?
Call Lowell McAdam himself. If we find his cell phone number, somebody put it in the forum, but we can't post it because then we'll be responsible. But thanks to the law, you guys can post it. We're not responsible. So someone find Lowell McAdam's number, and do not post it in our forum. How's that?
That works.
Do not post it. So Google is leaving WebKit, and they're developing their own thing called Blink. And Opera just said, you know what, we're going to move away from WebKit as well and go to Blink.
It's technically a fork of WebKit. So
yeah.
It's WebKit, but Google's going in a different direction with WebKit.
So what could this mean for the future? I mean, developers are now going to have to double-check their work on multiple different platforms using WebKit, and then one using Blink, and then Opera, and then your mom, and then Internet Explorer, and everything else. God.
7 versions of Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer. Oh, God. I wish I could uninstall Internet Explorer. Like, someone jumped in one of the last videos I did, and he's like, you guys do know you can uninstall Internet Explorer? I'm like, yeah, you can go into the services and actually remove it from the Windows services or whatever, but
it's still there.
We have to use it to check our website on Internet Explorer for the 3% of the people that go there, and you've got to use it all day long for all your clients who still use it.
What was the movie where, like, the haggard old lady sits in the corner and watches you, and the only thing you can see is the light from the end of her cigarette? That's Internet Explorer.
even when you uninstall it.
Yeah.
And if you've got Windows 8, it is just got its legs wrapped around it. It's licking its ear a little bit. Even when you try to get rid of it, it's still kissing your neck, and you're like, get away from me. Get away from me, dude. You're creepy.
So Blink could be interesting. The main reason they're doing this is for performance. It's the first version. They intend for it to be the first version of WebKit. I mean, they're forking WebKit, so it's not WebKit anymore, but it's multi-threaded WebKit. But multi-threaded, so it'll take advantage of multiple cores on phones and desktops and things like that for rendering the web page faster.
Because, I mean, every device made, right? This mouse is a quad core. This Zoe mouse right here is quad core, not a Death Adder. Sorry, guys.
That's where we're headed.
All right, what's next on the list? Waylon Weston get forked?
Yeah, they're bringing a new window manager to Linux, which is about time. The one that's on Linux is like it's really
way slower
complicated.
than the one on Windows, that's for sure. Even or Mac OS 10, they kind of spank it on the behind.
Yeah, it's based on a very old protocol, the X10 or X11, and there's only about 3 people on Earth that really understand it. And it's good, probably, to have this be a modern architecture, but it's bad because it's probably going to break a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, here's the article on the page right here. If you're someone who's a Linux user, specifically Ubuntu, you may want to check it out. But if not, then you may not want to check it out. So there's this new sneaky stuff going on. The ISPs are injecting advertisements. They're actually injecting advertisements into web pages. Like right here, someone's on Apple.com, and they're known for their clean, like elegant white layout. And right there is a nice big H&R Block advertisement right on the Apple web page.
Yeah.
Wonder how that got there.
ISPs are messing with unencrypted traffic.
So there's a lot of them that are doing this, and is there legally any way to stop them from doing this?
It's a gray area.
It's a gray area, which means there's money involved, which means someone's getting paid, and it'll probably never. I don't know.
I think the article talked about how the ads were actually replaced on eBay, which was interesting, I thought.
Well, that's also very disturbing for people like us people like me who eat because of the damn advertisements on the website, which I'm going to fix that. I do not like advertisements telling me what I can do with my life. I'll do whatever I please, and the advertisements will just be there for fun, and maybe we can get rid of them entirely because I hate those damn things. I only like sharing things that benefit our users, like, hey, here's a game deal. We make 2 pennies on it. You guys can save $10. We make 2 pennies. That's good. I like that kind of stuff, like affiliate accounts and whatnot. So we'll figure out some different ways. But yeah, this is egregious. If they can go in there and say they don't like us, just replace the ads on our webpage. I mean, they could.
Yeah. The technology, Comcast is also using it to notify you when you're doing something they don't like using your bandwidth or being suspected of piracy or whatever.
Yeah, here's their Comcast courtesy notice. You've reached 90%, but they're monitoring live your packets. They're basically running snort. They're just sniffing all your packets.
I likened it to you go to get your mail and you get your mail and it's obviously been opened and there's pork rinds inside the envelope where your neighbor has gone through it. It's like, oh, thanks, guy.
Yeah,
pork
what's
rinds.
all this about? In my opinion, it should be about the same thing as going through someone's mail.
What happens if the post office opens your mail to put advertisements in it and then seals it back? I mean, honestly,
that's the exact same thing.
It really is, and that's been illegal since the Pony Express.
Google had this patent pledge, and I think we briefly mentioned it, but they're not going to be suing anybody unless they're attacked first on a number of their patents. They didn't say all of their patents, but they're making a lot of their patents available for people to use, and I think this is going to be good for innovation. And this is, I think they're trying to take a step and show that, hey, listen, we can be an extremely profitable company without going crazy suing people and protecting our patents like Apple and some of the other companies do. So maybe they're taking a step and hoping that other companies follow them so that we can, get back to innovating, which is how the world works.
That would be great.
Innovation should drive profit, not suing people for using a swipe on your phone or something.
If you're really interested in this from a cultural standpoint, you should look at the history of the Roman Empire toward the fall of the Roman Empire. There's some really interesting parallels.
Bathhouses and orgies?
No, because they went nuts and it was legal things and it wasn't quite the same, but the intellectual works and I don't know, it's a long story.
Are we the new Rome?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of parallels. It's really scary.
I was waiting on Colosseums.
Well, that was one of the things people became sort of more engrossed with the whole, quote unquote reality stuff, which would have been the Colosseum stuff. So
yeah,
Jersey Shore, that much different from a lion thing.
If we could turn lions loose on the Jersey Shore, I'd watch that.
Well, see, there you go. That's not good for society.
We need a meme. A lion standing there, and the dude, come at me, bro. We need that. I want a t-shirt. No, I don't. So you cannot patent math. Texas courts have come out and said that you cannot patent math.
It was Red Hat.
Red Hat?
A patent troll was suing Red Hat
and
to try to get their tentacles into Linux. And then the judge was like, no, you can't patent math. And it was like, oh, this is actually pretty early in the process, like in the court case process. So this is really good.
Well, I'm still waiting on the legislation that comes out that says the patent trolls have to pay all the legal expenses. So luckily that's being worked on. Hopefully that'll go through soon. But we have a lot to complain about on the Hill right now.
That'd be good.
There's so much insanity going on the Hill right now. And let's start off with CISPA. Because they're going to be amending CISPA, and they're going to be doing so in secret.
Because government needs to make laws in secret.
Am I going to have to move to Washington and, sit around with a black car and follow people and stuff?
We've got to amend these laws in secret because the citizens would freak out if they knew what we were doing. That's probably not a good thing.
No. So you guys take a look at that article. Have you seen the time?
Rant 30?
It's Rant 30. Senator Feinstein, our good friend who hates video games. She loathes video games. I wonder if she's ever seen a violent movie. Anyway, she wants to get rid of video games entirely, and she's, referencing, what does she talk about here? The Sandy Hook, right? So Sandy Hook is her new platform to get rid of this evil video game thing because video games have a negative impact.
Because the shooters, there's a correlation that all these shooters play video games. Therefore, video games are the cause. Because that's, correlation is totally causation every time.
Let's break this down. First off, the video game industry is now larger than the motion picture industry. If you grew up in this century, or the last century, more than likely you've been to a theater or you've seen a movie. Everybody has done that. And now if you grow up, these days, you play a video game. And you see a movie. You know what? I don't even go to the movies anymore. I play video games. So everybody plays games. Of course, if something bad happens, that person probably played a video game. They also probably had breakfast.
In her mind, she doesn't understand why it would be fun for somebody to shoot to somebody else in a video game. Therefore, it must be abhorrent behavior.
Let's look at another thing. Since games like Doom came out, Doom was really bloody and violent when it came out. People were freaking out, and I remember people would come to church and hit you in the head with books about how bad it was for you, and your children are going to grow up and cut people's skin off and all that kind of stuff. Well, since that came out, violence has actually gone down in this country. And the other thing that I think people need to look at is violence per capita, because that is dramatically lower than it used to be. People are like, oh, there's been so many murders. Per capita, it is really low right now compared to the 70s, et cetera, et cetera. So, God, these people.
This is a tragedy, and we don't need to do anything really to deal with it.
She's a Democrat from California.
There's always going to be tragedy. I mean, not to minimize it, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always disturbed people.
Yeah.
There's
no mental health care in America.
There are guys there's people that play video games, right? And then they go out and murder someone, mentally disturbed gamer, not regular human being gamer, mentally disturbed. She's a Democrat from California. Who the hell in California voted for her? I want to know right now. I want you guys to show up and apologize and then vote for somebody else.
Can we please promise to only vote for people that are not career politicians? Honestly, that would probably fix most things. If no one who is a career politician was allowed to have a career in politics, that would probably solve a lot of things. Well,
yeah. Taking the money out would be a good start.
Yeah. With the internet the way that it is, we could probably run this whole show, through Skype.
We might.
And then that way, doctors and plumbers and lawyers and electricians and computer programmers could be members of Congress. That would be just the most amazing thing ever.
Speaking of running this whole show, the next time I'm out of town, we'll definitely run this show through Skype so we don't have people yelling and screaming. Like,
Yeah.
the people were freaking out. I was getting all caps emails. Where the hell is the check? Man, you can't do this to me.
It's coming. I guess I could have turned everything on and just hit record on the camera and been like, what's up? How's it going,
It's
guys?
as if I went to their house and punched their brother or their sister in the face and then left. That's what the kind of emails I was getting.
Yes, that is exactly the kind of posts we had to remove from the forum as well.
What the hell, man? So, Prenda Law. Let's do a little follow-up on those guys. Now, Prenda Law is back in court, and they've been pleading the fifth when the judge is asking them really simple questions. Now, Wendell, we've talked about Prenda Law before. What do they do? Who are they?
Prenda Law is the group of lawyers that were suing people that were alleged to have downloaded porn. So you'd get a letter in the mail, and it's like, we're going to make this a very public thing that you've been downloading this incredibly naughty, titled whatever it is, or you can just give us a couple $1,000 and we'll go away.
Yeah.
And so
Plumbers with Plunger 7.
something weird happened to a particular John Doe that they were suing, who has maintained his anonymity. At least his lawyer has been doing
I
stuff.
want to know who he is because he's in California. I want to vote for him.
Well, this John Doe has got his stuff together because this John Doe was like, not only did these people not have a client, but this whole thing is a sham and they made all this stuff up and blah, blah, blah. And so the judge was like, wow, these are some pretty serious allegations. So he ordered the whole group to show up, and that he was like, can you answer this question, and all of the people involved pled the fifth. And that's really weird.
He was asking things like,
why are you suing this person?
Why are you suing this person? And does this person exist? The guy who, I forgot the guy's name.
Alan Cooper.
Alan Cooper. Alan Cooper is the guy they said that owned the company that they were representing, the porn company.
And that had hired them to do stuff.
And does Alan Cooper exist? Well, we plead the fifth.
Yeah. So that's really, really shady.
Yeah, we're going to see those guys either go to prison, there's going to be criminal investigations, or they may just disappear off the face of the planet.
It's like, why are you suing this guy? Oh. Well, who gets the money? Oh. Well, I need you to tell me. I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Have you seen the time?
Rant 30 again?
It's
Rant 31.
It's like Rant 45 right now. It's just this week with so much has happened in the last week. So the Department of Justice, they're going to be throwing 12-year-olds in jail for going to the New York Times. That's exactly what's going to be happening. Now, here's what's going on. Why don't you fill them in?
Okay, so you guys remember the whole Aaron Swartz thing, right? So Aaron Swartz was downloaded too many journals from MIT, and they wanted him to agree to go to prison for 6 months. He was like, no, all I did was download some journals. I shouldn't go to prison for 6 months and be a felon for the rest of my life. So they gave him trumped up charges, threatened him with jail for 35 years. He killed himself, which is pretty tragic. And the citizenry is calling on a reform to the law under which he was charged. It's the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA. And so Congress is like, oh, okay, cool, we'll take a look at it. And they're making it worse.
Oh, yeah, they're making it worse. That's, of course, whenever they put their hands on things, they tend to make things worse. So what they want to do now is they want to have more strict enforcement of the terms of service that we see on websites. Now, many websites include a clause that say that you must be 18 years or older or 13 years or older to visit this website. Now, this is because of the Child Protection Act. And the Child Protection Act, I don't know, it
says you can't get data on children.
Yeah.
You can't data mine children, basically.
So, in order to protect themselves from this, from any kind of legal ramifications of, a child going on there and et cetera, they just put in their terms of service, you must be 13 or 18 or older. And some of the websites that, use this clause, the New York Times, tons of big sites, you have to be over 18 years old to go on to 17 Magazine, the website?
Yeah. That's the insanity.
You must be 18 years or older to look at 17 Magazine online.
But these changes to CFAA will make these terms of service violations into felonies, which means that, a 12-year-old could go to prison.
Well, probably a correctional facility, but yeah, a 12-year-old can get charged with a felony for going to the NewYorkTimes.com. That's what it boils down to. And a 17-year-old can get charged with a felony for going to 17magazine.com. What the hell?
And for those of you saying that, the government would never overstep its bounds and do that, we would have to point to the Aaron Swartz case where, because he wouldn't agree to a felony and 6 months in prison, they threatened him with 35 years. They increased the charges and 35 years of charges and blah, blah, blah.
For downloading journals. And all he wanted to do was avoid a felony on his record.
So
that was all he wanted.
I would argue that the government doesn't need that ability in the first place because eventually it will be abused. This was the guy who leaked the Stratfor. Okay, so like Anonymous hacked Stratfor and the credit cards and things like that. And so he was in a chat room where a link was posted, and he's like, "Oh, that's interesting. Anonymous has posted this file that contains all these Stratfor emails and things like that." And so he literally copied it out of the chat room and pasted it onto his website to be like, "Anonymous has leaked all this stuff. OMG."
Yeah.
And so for that, the Department of Justice wants to lock him up for 100 years.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? It's at the point where like we could try to fix it by running for office because I'm getting fed up. But we could just let the world burn and move to Switzerland. It's really pretty there, you know.
They'll send SEAL Team 6 after us.
In Switzerland, we're like, but we're just out here using our didgeridoo or whatever you do in Switzerland. Leave us alone. I've got these
didgeridoo. Oh my god.
I don't know. Is that don't they sell Ricola and blow into those things and it's all Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you do. Switzerland has some really good laws. As far as what I know, it's one of the only countries that will allow you to, torrent. I guess whatever you want. Just the piracy is okay over there. So they kind of get it in that country. You guys in the comments know a lot more. I'm ignorant. So let me know how it really is in Switzerland. If you're watching in Switzerland, what's up? I want to come over and visit because it's beautiful. And I like mountains.
So about the whole Department of Justice not abusing that thing and sending 12-year-olds to prison. If the 12-year-olds pissed off somebody, you can damn well better believe they're going to prison.
Oh, man. It's always about that, isn't it? It's like, who is this guy pissed off?
Yeah.
Let's talk about hardware for a few minutes. Get away from all this nonsense. I mean, I leave town for a couple weeks, and I cannot believe the nonsense waiting me when I get back. I was like, the world is nice. I'm just hanging out. Asus, the GTX 670 Direct CU Mini. Now, this is interesting. It's like about half the size. It's as long as a mini ITX motherboard, and it's a GTX 670. So Asus, send us one of those. I want to check that out for sure. 928 megahertz base clock. You can overclock this thing. It looks really nice. It's got a blower, looks like a blower on there, not an impeller. So
there'll be a full review later.
Yeah, we'll definitely get our hands on one of those and see how fast it is. How can they cram that much into a tiny PCB like that? I do not know. I'm not sure what they've done, but they've obviously got their own little PCB going on there. Now, this makes me very happy, and it may make some of you very happy. Adobe is now partnering with AMD, and we can expect to see support for OpenCL in Premiere very soon. So that's going to be awesome. They're saying that OpenCL is faster than CUDA by 27%. The way they always do these, preliminary results is they take the fastest AMD card in the planet and put it up against a whatever NVIDIA card and then run them, and then they're like, oh, look how much faster it potentially can be. So I don't trust any of these, 8 times faster. Holy God.
And this is for the Adobe software on a PC, because OpenCL on the Adobe software on a Mac has been supported for a while.
It's been supported. See, whenever they have these whatever this highlighted nonsense is, see the jagged, is pretty whoa! I don't trust it, so I want to do my own tests, but I really do want OpenCL in Premiere because I've got a 7970 over there, and I really want to be able to take advantage of it. I've been leaning on the fence for a while about getting a 680, but the 7970 is that much faster in the games that I play, mostly. I know the 680 is faster in some other games, but man, I've been dying for one just for rendering. I really don't like the Tom's Hardware website in general, and you can print that. There's 400 advertisements on this page. And there's 5 on our page sometimes. No, I think we got 3. I don't know. Anyways, gaming. Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah, I cannot believe the reviews. And I was not excited about this game at all because the last one I was just whatever, it's just more of the same. I didn't really... Bioshock 1 was fun. Bioshock 2 was pretty fun. I didn't freak out over them. It was not like a Half-Life 2 experience or Half-Life 1 experience where I'm oh my God, this game, or Deus Ex even. The reviews are ridiculous. People are best game ever. So, serial number came with the 7970 that I picked up. It came with Crysis 3 and Bioshock. And I gave my copy to Pistol, and she's been streaming it. And shameless plug, you guys can go and pick up a copy of this for $46.99, and we make a couple dollars on that, so that's nice, and everyone's taken care of. The link is in the description if you guys want to pick up Bioshock Infinite. But anyway, she started playing it, and after playing it for 8 hours, she turns around and she's like, I'm getting the same feelings as when I played Half-Life 1 for the first time. I was like, what?
Yeah, I haven't even played it yet. I haven't had time.
This is true. There's a lot of racism in that game because it's set at a time when racism was prevalent, but there are all these kids, and it's so true. Oh, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy, the source code has been released, so you guys can check that out. Those were some cool games. Some really good FPS games. I played the hell out of Jedi Knight 2. I think Kane and I played that a lot.
We've got some aspiring programmers on the forum that I've been posting help with sometimes, sort of, kind of. And so it would be good to look at the source because these are actual finished published commercial games.
Yeah.
Although the most beautiful game source code you'll ever read is from ID Software.
Yeah, id. Is it ID or id? People always correct me, no matter what I say.
I think it's id, but yeah.
ID. We grew up calling it ID.
Yeah, well, that's because there wasn't the internet.
Yeah. So yeah, but it doesn't matter what I say. Someone's always going to correct me. It's like, hey, you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do a cartwheel, and
It's like the id, the ego, and the super ego. id Software.
Yeah, id. The Witcher 3 is going to be DRM free. Now the guys over at CD Projekt, they're really cool guys. I think a lot of the video game industry can look at what they're doing, and look at their success, and restructure what they're doing to be more successful. EA.
Yeah, we're casting a scornful gaze at you, EA.
Well, even Steam with their hot DRM, as the guy, as Dave said when we interviewed him for Rise of the Triad, he's like, you guys can pick it up on Good Old Games DRM free, or get it loaded with lots of hot DRM on Steam. I love the way that those guys know that it's full of DRM, but they just embrace it and go with it, and they're completely upfront about it. But so anyway, Witcher 3 is going to be DRM free, so it's a step in the right direction. Do you see what's shipping? The Ouya is shipping.
Oh yeah, and the Kickstarter people are the first in line.
Yep. So if you picked it up for $100 on Kickstarter, expect your to come in soon. Now the thing that kind of bothers me about this is they don't really have any amazing flagship games. Like when you think of a console launch, you've got Mario Brothers launching with it, or whatever they launch with on Halo or something launching with the Xbox. There's always those flagship games, but this one doesn't really have any flagship games. They're all Android games. Are there any amazing Android games out there? There's a few, but
in my quest to find the ultimate Raspberry Pi that's like a Raspberry Pi but as fast as a mini ITX system, I have not been too impressed with the Android stuff that I've imported from China. So I expect this to not be quite that good.
We shall see, though.
We shall see.
So Valve, their packages are out and they're floating around the Linux world.
These packages suggest that they're adopting Ubuntu 12.04 long-term support for their own distribution, which could be interesting.
Which is probably what we're going to be seeing on the Steam box. And they also have some NVIDIA drivers built into that. So there's some traces of that. So there may be some NVIDIA drivers bundled together with it. So maybe the Steam box will have an NVIDIA GPU. Maybe. There's a lot of maybes out there and a lot of speculation. Who knows? Maybe they'll have an AMD and an NVIDIA option. Who knows?
Yeah, NVIDIA and AMD have both released open source video things for the open source community. One's a video decoder and the other's a driver.
Yeah.
So that's kind of encouraging that we see companies doing that.
What's this picture here? It's just funny. That's what it is.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a jet.
Yeah. Oh, Red Orchestra 2, there's a free weekend right now on Steam. If you're curious about a realistic World War II style game, you can check it out. I think the game's quite interesting. I haven't played part 2 yet. I downloaded it a long time ago, and I just haven't had time to play it. So I might check it out. I liked Red Orchestra 1 quite a bit, so just want to let you guys know that is free on Steam. All right, last couple things before we go. NASA, they had a crowdfunding thing where they wanted to get their trailer before the upcoming Star Wars feature film in theaters. And they put together an Indiegogo campaign, and their crowdfunding goal was met. So we're going to be seeing a NASA trailer right before Star Trek Into Darkness, and I'm sure we'll see that trailer on the internet as well. In fact, I think it's part of this thing here. There's a clip here, yada yada.
Yeah, you can go watch it now.
I'm not sure if it's the exact trailer they're going to be playing, but are you going to go see the new Star Trek? Did I say Star Wars or Star Trek?
I have no idea. I wasn't paying
attention.
attention.
Everyone knows what it is. So are you going to go see it?
I would like to see it just because it's Star Trek, but at the same time, no.
I'm still a fan of the original series. The original movie series. God, I love 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite movies of all time.
The premise for Star Trek 1 was amazing. The premise for Nemesis was amazing. They just cocked up the production.
Yeah, I thought Nemesis was kind of fun in times. It was a little bit too Hollywood for my taste, but
it was a really good story. Would have made a really good movie. Terrible execution.
For diehard Trekkies. Or they call them Trekkers, right?
I don't know. Let's not get into that.
That's all we need to close the show. We're Trekkies. No, we're Trekkers.
No, it's not.
Like, we like Star Trek, okay?
You've opened another can.
It's just me doing this. Oh, God. Last thing. This is very, very cool. We didn't really talk about much science this week, but there have been some cool developments, so we'll end on this because this is amazing, and I'm going to pose a question to you guys out there. So Stanford has created biological transistors, and this is going to be the first step toward computers that are integrated with our living cells. We could be cyborgs soon. So I'll let you guys read this article, but what I want to talk about is, let's suppose we have bionic eyes and all that sort of thing coming out, sometime in the next 20 years. How many of you are going to be in line for a bionic arm or a finger that can split into multiple pieces and do things, or hey, Swiss Army finger? With the you think it and it happens. You want to open a can, zzz, a laser beam right out of your hand. Oh no, cops are going to have like integrated lasers in their hand.
So basically, Deus Ex. Which kind of person are you going to be?
Yeah. What are you going to be? I think I'm going to be stealth and hacking with some augmented eyesight. Would you do it? Would you get like a bionic eye or something?
I would probably wait until like version 2 of the technology, because I'm just thinking about how early adopters of LASIK, they had some issues. So you should probably wait for like LASIK 2.0.
Yeah. That's probably what I'll do as well. Service Pack 1. But just download a Service Pack. And do not install a new version of Windows on your eyes.
I'm pretty sure once they've burned away part of your eye that there's no Service Pack for you.
So wait till the second iteration.
It's the machine that burns away your eyes that gets the Service Pack, not your eyes.
We've also got some Russian scientists working on immortality, and we'll talk about that soon, just being able to take you and put you into a robot body, and they're saying they're going to try to get it done in the next 30 years. We'll see what happens with that.
I'd say that we'll probably have the biological fix for that sooner, because it seems like it's just a matter of regenerating your telomeres.
Yeah, just figuring out what's going wrong there. Because, something is definitely going wrong.
So it would seem.
Maybe it's just the universe saying, like, we can't have this many people.
Probably.
Anyway. So we'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for grabbing Zweihander. It's doing very well. We've got some affiliate accounts now with some various video game things. So if you guys are buying video games, check out the links on our website. We're posting deals, so it helps you guys, and we make a couple bucks on that, so that really helps. Like I said, I think affiliates are a really good way for us to stay afloat and also help you guys out at the same time, and I like it better than advertisements. So definitely check that out. Like I said, Bioshock's like $46, and the link's in the description. Anything else we should mention before we go?
Can't think of anything. Maybe we'll do a bonus episode because of the gap.
Yeah, maybe we'll do one this week. If you would you guys like to see an episode on, like, say, Monday or Tuesday? Because there's a lot of stuff to cover, and this is a long episode, but there's so much going on in the world. So let us know if you'd like that. And, if someone posts a comment that says, I really want another tech episode earlier in the week, and it gets like more than 100 thumbs up, maybe we'll do one.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yep. All right, guys. See you next week. Subscribe.